You guys, Brianna Chickenfry has found herself in some trouble and it is just not good. It's not looking good for her. She's kind of had a rocky year where there were times where the internet wasn't too happy with things that she had said, especially on her Plan Bri podcast. But then following her breakup with Zach Bryan, people started to really like her again. They really respected the fact that she turned down that hush money from him, didn't sign that NDA. I mean, $12 million, that's a lot to say no to, but she really won a lot of people over and they were really hoping that she could work things over with her friend Grace, who she does her Plan Bri podcast with, but it doesn't look like that's been able to happen. And fans are not too happy with what they have learned about the future of Plan Bri and what Grace has had to say, and we are going to spill on everything that is being said right now. Fans had speculated that things were not the same between Brianna and Grace since she started dating singer Zach Bryan, and with them being childhood friends, fans were really sad to see her friendship with Grace fall apart over a guy. Once her and Zach broke up, it was confirmed that the two had hit some rough patches in their friendship, as it was hinted at in the diss track that Dave Portnoy and Josh Richards made for Zach Bryan that he tried to come between Bri and Grace. And on the BFFs podcast, when talking about her breakup, Dave was also bringing up her friendship with Grace, and though she tried to downplay the drama, he was basically saying that they certainly weren't on amazing terms because of Zach. But it doesn't look like things have gotten any better even though she's not with Zach anymore. I guess there was just too much damage done because the two have found themselves in quite the situation right now. So Grace has co-hosted with Bri on the Plan Bri podcast, but the podcast is coming to an end, and the news of Brianna revamping the podcast came as a total blindside to Grace the other day. Brianna posted onto her Instagram story and said, "Working on bringing back some version of Plan Bri, guys." Grace saw this and took to her Instagram story to let everyone know that she was not aware that Brianna was about to do a new version of Plan Bri. She said, "Hi guys, if you know me, you know I truly hate having to be serious about anything ever, but sometimes you just have to be. So here it is. Can you tell I'm trying to stall even in this weird notes app post? For months, I've been radio silent about the status of Plan Bri, and it has killed me to leave you guys hanging. The plan was for Brianna and me to put out a joint statement about the end of the podcast. Everything's so weird and unfamiliar at the moment, so I've just waited for the cue to put that out. Seeing all of you tag us in your Spotify Wrapped made me feel a few things. Proud of what we've built, nostalgic for all these years, and frankly outright heartbroken that this chapter is closed. But we agreed to make a joint statement, so I replied, cried, and chose not to repost or say anything until it was time." On the same day, you may have seen Brianna post that she's working on bringing back some version of Plan Bri. To give you guys the much needed info you deserve, all I can say is that that was my first time hearing about this. So I feel as if it's only fair to share my piece about all of this jazz with you now. My favorite part of this chapter of my life was not only all of you, but also getting to work with my best friend. It has truly been a dream job, and I'm eternally grateful for both Brianna and Barstool for giving me the opportunity to work on such a fantastic show with an even better team. This last year, I've bit my tongue so much that I shouldn't even have one anymore. I was willing to wait out of respect, but things don't always work out the way you think they will. In fact, they rarely do. I most definitely did not foresee any of this ever ending. I don't think I'll ever fully get into every aspect of how this came to be, but it should be said that although this was not a mutual decision, I'm realizing that in the grand scheme of things, it might actually end up being the right one. I really don't want to be the goofed up person who says things like stay tuned and big things coming soon, because we all know I just mean I'm working on creating another type of the same thing, but more me. That's kind of how it goes. I want you all to know that I'm staying at Barstool, and when it comes to chit-chatting on a weekly basis, I'll be right back. I'm always transparent and honest with you, and honestly, I have a pit in my stomach as I post this, but hey, that's showbiz, baby. I love and adore you guys. See you soon, XOXO. Fans were really feeling for Grace once they saw this and were quickly turning on Brianna, as they were just taking this as Grace being under the impression that Plan Bri was ending, donezo, not ever coming back, which wasn't a mutual decision she was saying, but seeing Brianna say that it's continuing just without Grace, fans know that had to hurt. Then someone on Reddit clocked something and posted, "Josh Gallo, the Plan Bri photographer, along with producers Hannah and Peyton, all collectively decided to unfollow Grace just hours ago while sitting with Brianna in Vancouver at their Airbnb. It's a real low blow and reflects some pretty nasty coordinated behavior against Grace." It gets even messier when people read into an Instagram story that Brianna posted where she said, "About to get my favorite Taylor song tattooed, the song that got me through having to remove toxic people from my life." And some wondered if she was talking about Grace. Honestly, she might have been talking about Zach Bryan in this post, but some were wondering if she was talking about Grace. So keep that that in mind for later because people did message her about this, and boy did she reply. After she posted this, Brianna ended up addressing the statement that Grace had made on her Instagram story and said, "Hey guys, just want to clear the air on things. Grace and I and the whole team have been well aware Plan Bri has been over for months. Grace and I have been texting back and forth for months about making our announcement video together, but she's been busy with comedy and I've been busy traveling for work. She means she was blindsided when I said I was working on bringing it back, which I was, looking for talent to hold Grace's and I's spots because I felt it was unfair to the listeners to leave you without a weekly listen. I started Plan Bri in my dorm room almost 5 years ago and could have never imagined what it would turn into. I didn't want what was built to completely leave you all. As planned, still are working on a time to make one last podcast closing out on a positive note for you all." But fans are not convinced that we're about to get this positive ending, as DMs have now been going around online from fans who are alleging that Brianna messaged them and didn't have nice things to say about Grace. There was this screenshot that started going around where she had said, "Or maybe Grace sucks and was a horrible friend to me and horrible to the rest of the team, and maybe I cut her out of my life 2.5 months ago, and I'm not going to say that online because I would never want someone I care about to get publicly attacked because I know how hard that is. Maybe you need to look at the bigger picture." And some were wondering if this was fake because it was deleted so fast after this girl posted this screenshot on TikTok. But then another girl, whose account is I Love Grilled Cheese, ended up saying that she got a similar message from Brianna too.
From Brianna to a creator who posted on TikTok. This could be completely fabricated.
Alrighty, well, I'm here to tell y'all that this definitely is not fabricated because she answered my DM too. And I honestly wasn't going to post it, but now that I see everyone is saying that this girl faked the DM, I don't agree with that because I obviously have the proof too, and I'm here to show it to y'all. So after Grace had posted her message on her Instagram story, I was expecting Brianna to post a response, but she never did. Instead, she was being very cryptic on her stories, and she posted this. And what stood out to me was this got me through having to remove toxic people from my life. And I knew she posted this as a way to kind of throw a jab at Grace, but I kind of wanted to make it clear if it was or not. So I spoke on one of her other stories and said, "Girl, address the situation." And then I said, "Are you insinuating that Grace is toxic? Be so for real, Brianna, with actual help." Because I'm like, if she's your best friend and she's posting that you blindsided her and you're just going to post cryptic messages, let's grow up a little bit. Anyways, this is what Brianna had to say back to me. She said, "There are two sides to every story. Clearly, I would never speak online because I'm a good person. Look where everyone is. Look who everyone unfollowed. Use critical thinking." So obviously in this message, she's insinuating that Grace is the problem and talking about how her Plan Bri Uncut team all unfollowed Grace, because they all did, right after Grace posted those stories. So yeah, I'm here to help out the girl who also got the DM, not fake. So she's a good person because she's not speaking online, but she's inside DMs telling people that Grace is a bad person. And then also I'll post a screen recording so y'all know this is real.
So people were a little bit more convinced that these DMs might be real, and even more DMs started to be leaked online with someone saying that they messaged Brianna and said, "Girl, I'm actually really disappointed in how you've handled the situation with Grace. I followed you since the very beginning and have always supported you, but this is something I can't support. I know there are two sides to every story and you're going through a lot, but she's supposed to be your best friend. You don't treat best friends like this, especially publicly, and Peyton, Josh, and Hannah unfollowing her, gross and cruel." And she apparently replied and said, "You have no idea. She's evil, two sides to every story. She's cruel, manipulating, awful, and I cut her off months ago." Another screenshot was going around where someone had replied to Brianna's previous story saying, "Why did Josh and your team unfollow yesterday?" And she allegedly said, "I never speak ill of her online, but they felt deeply mistreated and hurt by her over the past 6 months. There's two sides to every story. Please use critical thinking." Someone else also asked her why those girls unfollowed Grace, and she allegedly responded saying, "Don't you think I would have unfollowed her if that was the case? She made them all cry and sob. LMAO. She's so mean. Don't feed into internet drama. They are their own people. Free will's a crazy thing." Another one said, "Why did everyone unfollow Grace then?" And she said, "Because she made them cry. LOL, but I'm not crazy and not gonna bring ish online." You guys, there are so many screenshots of DMs where she is kind of saying this same thing to multiple people that people are really starting to believe that these are actual screenshots of something that she is saying, and that, she really didn't like what Grace had said on her Instagram story about being blindsided, and she was trying to do some damage control by telling people that there were two sides to every story. But I don't know, you guys, it just hasn't made her look good, which is unfortunate because for a lot of people, they were thinking that she was maybe going to turn a corner and win the internet back after her breakup, with how people really respected her for not taking that money and such, but it's quickly gone downhill, though we don't know exactly what went on between her and Grace. She's clearly trying to defend her side, and people are really taking it out on Brianna, just given that it was her relationship with Zach in the first place that was confirmed to have come between them originally. But as of right now, that's what's been going on with these two. I certainly want to know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.